Hey y'all, it's Dorothy from PrepInYourStep.com, and today I'm back to film a video that y'all had requested after seeing my What's on my iPhone 6s video, which is a few back, so you may have to scroll. And so y'all had said that you wanted to see an updated how I edit my Instagrams, so that's what I'm here to do for y'all today. I know everyone has a bunch of different apps that they use or has like a theme going. I don't know if I necessarily have a theme because most of mine are usually pretty bright, so if I do have a theme, I'd say that's what it is. But I'm just going to go through the process of how I edit the photos, what apps I use, that sort of thing with y'all since you were interested in seeing that. So let's get into it. Hey y'all, so this is my Instagram. You can follow me just at PrepInYourStep, but I thought I'd start by showing y'all kind of what it looks like right now. Like I said earlier, I don't really have a theme to it, and if I did, I think I would just classify it as like really bright and colorful. So that's what you have for me, but I'm going to go through the apps I like to use and then show y'all how I do one photo. So the main app I use is Visco, and my phone recently updated and I didn't ask it to, especially because everyone was hating on how Visco's update is, and yes, I'm not used to it, but I think it'll be okay. Also, I don't have like a public profile because I use this just to edit a lot of pictures, and I don't really want to have to worry about making sure something else looks nice. So that's Visco. And then in this photography folder, which you've seen if you watched my What's on my iPhone video, I have Split Pic, which I don't really use, and Pic Stitch, which I also don't really use. Those were used more when I was in charge of my sorority's Instagram. And then I have Afterlight, which I'm sure some of y'all have heard about. It does put like lines around photos, and it has some good editing software as well. And then Snapseed, which is by Google, and I like that. And then I also like Color Story, which has a lot of great filters and can brighten up a photo, but we'll get more into that in a minute. So I start every photo in Visco, and so I just click on it and click Edit. And I do have a lot of the filters. I think I purchased some at one point, so I'm not sure if this is what comes standard or this is what I've gotten over time, but it has been my favorite editing app for a while now. And I don't typically, well, I went out of it. I don't typically use these preset filters, although sometimes they look really great. I still like to go in there and do some touch-ups on my own. So I usually start by brightening the exposure of my photos. I will say that this photo was taken with my DSLR camera, what I film on. So it is a little bit higher quality than, say, what my iPhone would shoot, but I do the same thing for all of them. Sometimes they just need a little more or less depending on the quality of the photo. And I thought we'd do this photo since I'm wearing this outfit in the video, and I also uploaded a blog post featuring this outfit today. So, you know, best of both worlds. So I always start by just increasing the exposure. Usually it's to 2 or 3, just depending. I kind of like this one at 3. And then I like to go into contrast and just kind of see what it would look like. Obviously, contrast just kind of brightens and dulls certain parts, but I think I'm going to keep it on, do I want 1? I think I'm going to put it on 1 for this photo. As you can tell, obviously, it's just like see as I go. And then I skip these sort of things. That one's sharpen, which I use rarely, but sometimes it's good to sharpen up a photo. And I like to go over to saturation, and most of the time I take my photos to about 2 or 3. I am very cautious of making sure that it doesn't look like I'm like abnormally red or tan, but I just like the way it enhances the color. So for this one, I'm going to put it on 3, and then kind of to take off some saturation, I'll bring the temperature down just a little so that the colors that pop are really more on the cooler side. So I usually only do that to about 1. These are highlight and shadow, and I only use those if need be. So if I'm trying to get rid of the shadows on that wall, I could do that. But honestly, I kind of like the contrast that the shadows create, so I'm going to leave that. That's all I use in Visco, and so then obviously, I think this button is taking me back. Yeah, I haven't gotten used to the update. And then I save it to my camera roll. So now I just uploaded this exact same photo that I had just edited into Color Story, so that's this app right here. And I did just want to show you all that it does a lot of the same things as Visco, but one of the things I really like are some of the filters, and I haven't gotten all of the filters, but I'm really tempted to get some of them. But I just like what they do, and I like that you can adjust how much of it you use. So this one's called Sharp, and obviously it's sharpening things a lot, but if I just wanted to sharpen it to an extent, then I could just go partially on that kind of continuum of like original to extra sharp, and I really like that about that. They have all these different packs that you can get, and they have some great custom filters. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because I think it's a really great app. Snapseed is also a great app, and so I'll just open that photo, and what you can do is click the edit button and you can just kind of tune the image, go through details. And something really interesting about this is that you can brush it. So you can increase exposure in certain areas if you want to. Obviously, that's not really what I would go for, but this works great if you're trying to brighten some of the whites in your photos. Sometimes I take photos at night, and so things aren't so bright, and so I can go in and make sure that the whites are extra bright. But for the most part, I use Visco. I just wanted to share those other two with you. And then obviously I just go in and post the photo. So that's how I edit my Instagram photos. So I hope y'all liked that look at how I edit my Instagram photos. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, you should. It's at PrepInYourStep. All of my social media links are always down below, as well as the blog, so that you can keep up with me over there as well. So go ahead, go follow those and click subscribe while you're at it. And you can like this video if you enjoy this content, but I'd also love to know what other content y'all are interested in seeing, so leave that in the comments below, as well as any suggestions you may have for apps, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Bye!